All right, let's dive right in. We're talking about the super high stakes world of fintech, where routing a transaction isn't just about sending money from A to B. It's about making incredibly smart decisions in the blink of an eye.
So, I've got a question for you right off the bat. Is your routing logic built to handle the absolute chaos of peak hours? Or is it kind of like a ticking time bomb, just waiting for the pressure to build before it all falls apart?
And you gotta understand, the stakes in this game, they're absolutely massive. A single second of delay, just one little hiccup in your success rate, that's not just a technical glitch. We're talking millions of dollars in gross merchandise volume. The total value of everything sold just vanishing into thin air.
So, why does this happen? Well, to get it, we've got to look at how things used to be done. A world that was basically run by the chaos of static, unbending rules.
For what feels like forever, the entire backbone of payment routing was built on this really simple but really rigid hard-coded logic. You know what I'm talking about. Basic if-else statements. If this happens, go here. If not, go there. Seems fine on the surface, but it's incredibly fragile.
And this is what happens when that brittle code smacks right into the real world. A Saturday night traffic surge, a partner API that's just a little bit slow, and bam, the whole system just breaks. Static rules just can't handle dynamic problems, and that means failures, angry users, and a whole lot of lost money. Okay, so what's the fix? What if, instead of that brittle code, you had something that could actually, think? Something that could reason its way through problems? Well, that's exactly where the orchestration brain comes in. So what exactly is this orchestration brain? In simple terms, it's an AI-powered decision engine. The key thing here is that it's not just following a pre-written script. It's actively analyzing a whole bunch of complex variables in real time to find the absolute best, most optimal path for every single transaction. Now, look, you can't just unleash an AI and say, hey, find the best route. To build something a bank, a real financial institution can trust, you have to architect how it thinks. And that foundation is built on 4 fundamental pillars of logic. And here they are. First, you give the AI its identity so it knows its mission. Then, you build a strict hierarchy of constraints to keep it stable. After that, you need dynamic overrides to handle real-world chaos. And finally, you enforce output governance so its decisions are actually useful.
Okay, I want to zoom in on pillar 2 for a second, because this one, it's absolutely critical. The hierarchy of constraints. See, in fintech, your logic has to follow a specific order. You can't make a decision based on profit if it's going to cause a technical meltdown.
And this visual here really breaks it down perfectly. It's all about the order of operations. The AI has to check for availability first. Are the lights even on? Then it looks at performance and latency. Only after all that technical stuff checks out does it even begin to think about things like cost and profit. All right, let's jump to pillar 4, output governance. Because think about it, a genius decision is completely useless if none of your other systems can understand what it's saying. The final answer from the AI has to be something a machine can use instantly. And this is a perfect example of why this is so important. On the left, you've got this messy, human-like answer, totally unusable for a machine. But on the right, clean, structured JSON. By locking the AI into JSON mode, its decisions become instantly machine-readable by a payment gateway. No confusion, no parsing, just pure, actionable data.
Okay, so we've got the architecture down. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does this thing actually think? It all comes down to this 7-variable decision matrix. It runs for every single transaction. First up, variable number 1, and this is a hard and fast rule, availability. We call it the circuit breaker. It's simple. If a payment route fails twice in just 5 minutes, the brain takes it offline, benches it for 2 hours. Period. No more sending good traffic down a dead-end street.
All right, next we've got latency. You can think of this as the gatekeeper for the customer experience. Because let's be real, a successful payment that takes forever to go through, that's still a fail in the customer's eyes. And that's where this number comes in, 1,500 milliseconds. That's the magic threshold. Look at this chart. Any route that goes over that line is considered a soft failure. The brain doesn't even wait for a timeout. It sees that delay and immediately starts shifting traffic away to protect that user experience. Okay, from here, the logic gets even smarter. It's looking at stuff like native OTP support, because that seriously boosts conversion rates. Then it's hunting for the lowest cost for the merchant. And only if everything else is equal does it optimize for the platform's own profit. It's this constant, crazy balancing act.
But now we get to the really cool stuff. The things that show off the true intelligence here. This is something that old-school static code could never, ever pull off. Promotional arbitrage.
So check this out, right? The default route might be to go directly to a bank where we make a tiny bit of profit. But the brain is smart. It's constantly scanning the market and sees that an aggregator is running a special zero-fee promotion. So what does it do? It completely overrides the default. It sends a transaction through the aggregator, making it 100% free for the merchant.
And the intelligence doesn't stop there. The next bit of special logic is all about predictive power. The brain doesn't just react to what's happening now, it anticipates what's going to happen. We call this success rate decay.
And this is the perfect picture of what we call the Saturday night decay. It's a classic problem. The brain knows from looking at tons of historical data that certain bank servers get slammed on weekend nights. So, as you can see, it proactively marks those direct routes in red, high risk, and starts favoring the more stable aggregator routes. It's all about guaranteeing that success rate, no matter what.
So after all that, what's the big payoff? What do you get for all this complexity? It's a fundamental shift. You're moving away from a system that's fragile and reactive to one that is resilient and predictive. The future here is all about being dynamic.
So let's bring it all together. When you have a system that can juggle all 7 of these variables at once, everything from system uptime to these crazy promotional deals, you get something that doesn't just follow a script. It adapts. It's maximizing success, slashing costs, and just intelligently navigating the absolute chaos of the real world.
So if there's one thing you take away from this, it's this. Static rules are a thing of the past. They're history. To win in fintech today, your systems can't just follow orders. They have to think. They have to reason. They have to adapt. Because the future isn't just about automation. It's about intelligence. It's dynamic.